What's going on, my friends? Welcome on out to Behind the Energy podcast, where we dive into behind the scenes of DJing, entrepreneurship, and all the excitement in between. We got some friends, some cool people joining us, and a lot of fun stories. So without further ado, let's jump into Behind the Energy podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, party people, welcome on out to Behind the Energy podcast. We got the one and only Ethan Cisneros, a.k.a. Ethan from Thirst, in the house.
So they call me.
That's it. Yeah, you got to show him. You got to show him the
Thirst jersey action.
The jersey, bro. He's got it like custom on the back and everything too.
You know, honestly, it's because I always picture myself wearing a jersey when I'm doing entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. So I got myself one.
It's fit, dude. I remember like
I'm gonna get it for all my managers too, because I feel like a jersey makes you feel like you're in the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Dude, you were talking about that like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Because I've been playing this game for a while.
You've been repping your jersey, Mr.
I've been repping the jersey, yeah.
You've been repping many jerseys and many hats too. Huh. Oh gosh.
But I'm here to bring the energy.
We're here to bring the energy. I got a few notes because I want to go to specific areas, Eth. And we're also going to be, again, kind of speedy because I'm just going to be drilling you, and we got this time limit. So
let's do this.
I joke from time to time that you're like a robot almost, bro, because I kid you not, there's very few people in this planet that I know that have the work ethic, caliber, determination that this man's got right here. And so
I appreciate that,
it's kind of a joke, but like straight up, if you know Ethan at all, you understand what I'm saying. If you don't know Ethan, you need to go check him out on Instagram at
Ethan from Thirst.
Ethan from Thirst. Thank you. Beautiful. But my boy Ethan and I had a funny interaction in how we initially met. We talked about that on your podcast.
Yep.
Was formerly known as Ethan's Angle is the current title.
Yep.
Formerly known as
Learning by Doing.
Learning by Doing.
Yep.
Thank you, Ethan.
Learning by Doing, the classic name.
Give me give the listeners a little synopsis of like that interaction, how we met, and where our friendship really began.
Oh yeah.
If you can reflect.
Well, most don't know, but I actually went to school for a second.
Yeah.
So for a second there, I was at the University of Utah, and really not paying much attention at all. But one thing that did catch my attention was Lasan building, Entrepreneurial building. I was like, ooh, that I can associate with that. I walk in, and they had, I think, were you a host or something?
Like an associate of the co-work program.
Yeah. That type.
Yeah, like a host of the space.
Yeah, and basically he was in there like just showing everyone around that came in and showing them how dope it was. And then we got to talking, and turns out you were rushing our fraternity. Mm-hmm. And just a go-getter, had his own business, and we just clicked right off the bat. We started chatting it up, probably working our first deal. Like, you were going to DJ, like, one of the gigs at SIG or something, like, immediately. Mm-hmm. We just hit it off, dude, and I think I say a lot, hustle respects hustle, hustle finds hustle, and if you're doing it and you're working hard and you're going for years, I think people respect that mutually, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, I think we can see eye to eye in that way. Yeah,
it did help. Seriously, I remember you walking in just being like super curious, like, what's going on? Like, what's this place all about? And come to find out, like a day or two later, I'd see Ethan at the Sigma Chi house, and he's the social chair at the time, hosting, socials and events and parties and whatnot. And so we collaborated there.
The good old days, baby.
Behind the scenes, making everything work. And then I DJ. I remember, I don't know if you'll remember this, Ethan, but I had an assignment in a entrepreneurship class, and I interviewed you. It was probably at like 9 p.m. on a Friday night or a Saturday night. Yeah. And I remember there was like a party going on.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, come over, let's get this interview real quick, and then let's have some fun.
Yep.
But I remember doing that as well. And
the grind, baby.
Though our paths haven't crossed like too frequently, there's always, at least I felt like there's always been like a mutual respect and support there, because kind of gets at, the those grinding, can see it in others and can respect it. Am I making sense?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
And then the
Thank
thing
you.
is, we want to promote it too. We're like, oh man, that person gets it. That person is doing stuff like that isn't seen by everyone, and we know it. We can see them grinding. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like we know. I think I have an extra respect for someone like you or another entrepreneur who I really see is putting in work behind the scenes that isn't always getting recognized. And so yeah, we have a lot of respect for it. So.
I just started doing this thing like it's a little silly, but I think it's kind of cool. Like on Instagram, when I see one of my friends doing like something really dope, like you, for example, launching what number of location was it? The 6th?
No. It was our 4th drive-through, but it was our 5th official location.
Ethan had made this post on social media, showing the excitement. Grand opening in Bountiful is about to happen just on Saturday, and I take the Instagram post and I reshare it on my story, and be like, just a friendly reminder. I got the dopest friends, or like my friends are badass, or something like that. Sharing the excitement, because you can, as grinding entrepreneurs, you can see that in others. So
100%.
I want to take a quick step back and provide a little bit more context for someone who may have not been to Thirst or been introduced to Thirst.
Yes.
If you could give a brief synopsis of the entrepreneurial journey.
Sure.
Take a few minutes and walk us through that.
I like to say I'm just like an all-in type of guy. I've been all in on whatever I'm doing since I was little, and it just so happened that I like starting businesses. So when I was younger, I had a lawn mowing business that I went all in on. Started by pushing my lawnmower for like a mile to go get to the first client, and just did marketing. I always did marketing. I was always obsessed with like getting more customers, being the best, being the top. I would flyer everyone's doors, call everyone, make signs. Grew my lawn mowing business, grew it with one of my buddies. And then when I was 16, I started a shaved ice business. And I ran that for 3 years and really made it kind of the hangout spot of my high school. Learned how to have employees, learned how to file taxes and do inventory and like be a semi real company, semi big company. And then I started Thirst in 2016. And that was right after I graduated high school. I was 18, just turning 19. And over the last 6 years, I've been able to grow that into what is now 150 employees. We have 6 locations. We're opening 4 more in the next 6 months to a year. And it's just been incredible. I've worked the whole time as hard as I possibly could. I put a lot of attention to trying to do what's right and sharing the journey and building others up on social, and building others up in my company, and building others up that I'm doing business with, and honestly my customers. Like try to bring a ton of value to my customers. I want to just be the best. I want to be all in. I want to be one of the greatest entrepreneurs to make a mark in my industries, whatever ones I do. So I like to share my journey. I'm a creator of a podcast and vlog, and I put myself out there, and I'm really going for it. And I think people involved will think, I like to think that they think I'm a really nice guy, and I work really hard. And yeah, man, that's who I am.
Thank you. That you have let me in on that story, and I know that 2 minutes doesn't even do justice of those years, even from the start of Thirst, let alone shaved ice or the lawn mowing. But just in the interest of time, providing a little perspective there. I've told you a million times, like, dude, what you're doing is incredibly impressive. It blows my mind, but I'm not surprised, because I know what you're capable of. And I genuinely know that this is just the start for Ethan Cisneros and your entrepreneurial path.
I appreciate that.
Like as I was washing my hands just a moment ago, I'm like, I can't wait for whatever endeavor it is that we go in on together, because I want to do business with you.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what it is,
Oh yeah.
but at some point, if it's 2 years or if it's 5 years, if it's 7 years, I want to be business partners together.
Yeah.
I'm just impressed, bro.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you. It's like, to your point, it's been a long, like long journey. Like I'm 24. I started let's just forget about my lawn mowing business. Take my shaved ice business. Since I was 16, I've literally been working 50 hours minimum per week. And more recently in my career, like every second, like I I work on my thing 24/7, and it's been a long time. Like if you count those reps, 50 hours a week since I was 16, like most people start their careers after college and really go after and like start honing those business skills of marketing, of how to talk to an employee, of how to deal with situations at work, how to lead a team and get them to do what you want. Like I've really been honing in on those skills for a long time. And I know you have too on your business, but I think people discredit it. Like there's very few businesses that last more than 5 years. There just aren't that many, and it's because it takes a lot, and you really got to be committed. And so, yeah, man, it's been a long time, and the feeling is mutual. Like I'm saying, you know the feeling of doing this for a long time. I know you've been in the DJ business for a while, and you just put in work. You put in work, and you gotta love it too, because it's a lot, right? It's a lot, and it gets crazy. So, yeah.
You just reminded me of an incident and a conversation I just recently had. Every now and then DJing, you have a tough night, whether that's a tough crowd or, an example, a tough client or a school.
Yeah.
Whatever the dynamic is,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
the night is very far from the success and
Yep.
the excitement that you have seen.
Yep.
And one thing that I have recently learned is that it is very easy to get caught up on that one particular night. Let's say we DJ 100 events in a year, and there's 3 of those events, and it is so easy for those feelings, those thoughts, those emotions to build in a cycle. And matter of fact, we just had one of those nights recently. It was still successful, but there was something that made us think and feel differently. And
Yep.
I had to remind my boy Austin Argus that, dude, this is one night of many successful nights.
Oh yeah.
And I know he knew this, but I've caught myself in that cycle of thinking poorly and overthinking or overanalyzing. And it was a moment in that conversation with him to disrupt that thinking and bring in a bigger picture. All the other success that we're having. So, anyways, I don't want to get on a tangent.
Oh no,
there.
dude, it's crazy. I think about
Am I
this
making sense though?
so much. Like, dude, emotion in business messes me up so bad. In fact, I'll say it's probably one of my biggest weaknesses is like feeling an emotion, whether it's toward an employee, about how the line is moving, about like how someone spoke to someone else in my company, about anything I'm frustrated about. Like emotions and temper, they'll ruin like the vision and progress and like actually what's best for the business, actually what's best for all the team members. They can ruin them. Like they really can, because it's hard to control. Like when you care so much and there's so many emotions like you or I do about the ultimate success of the business, like it means so incredibly much to us. And yeah, we can make decisions all the time. I do this all the time. Like I would say my biggest weakness is like getting frustrated about something and then doing something or saying something to an employee, or like choosing to deal with something at a certain time. It can mess you up, and it can be really set you back. But so I really try to think about that a lot. I'm like, when I'm feeling an emotion, I'm about to go call someone and tell them I'm upset with them about something, or I'm about to go in and talk to my team a certain way, or I'm about to make any move at all. I'm like, am I really thinking about this right now? Or what kind of emotion is making me want to think that? And if you can do that, man, you're a mental beast. If you can do that, if you can stop that emotion, boom, slow it down and be like, all right, Let me see so clearly through this. You're an unstoppable leader, I think. And so, dude, I think it makes a ton of sense. I think about that a lot.
The fact that you're consistently conscious about this, Ethan, and
Dude,
that you
it's
that you have a team of 150 plus high performing team members that are willing and excited to represent the Thirst brand at 24 years old is incredibly impressive, man. I'm going to jump on just for the sake of time, but
Yeah,
I think you could have a whole or a whole freaking podcast just on that topic in itself. But I want to talk a little bit about some current excitement that's happening with Thirst. I know there's the division with Wetzel's Pretzels, the truck, and if I remember correctly, there's a location in Tooele coming.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep. So we just launched our Bountiful Thirst store.
Yes.
We're going to open in Tooele, and it's going to be a surprise, but I'll tell you right now on this podcast, it's going to be a Thirsty car wash. So we bought this big lot. There's a huge tunnel that you go through on one side. That's going to be the Thirsty car wash. And then on the other side is a Thirst, and we're going to work together. So if you go to the Thirst, you can buy a car wash at a discounted price, get back in line, go through the Thirsty car wash, or you can just go through the car wash, or you can just go through the Thirst. So testing that out, because why not? And it sounds awesome. And I think with a strong brand, you can pull off or sell a lot more than you think. Like with a lot of brand equity, like Tesla doing their alcohol brand, or if Nike got into like the food business, like people are going to pay attention because the brand is there. The brand is there. And so I don't think a car wash is far-fetched at all. And honestly, I think like I'm excited about it. Like I want to go after Quick Quack. Like I think there's a massive demand for it. And my head goes like this. I'm sticking on car wash for 1 second. My head with car wash is like, okay, you got people like Quick Quack who need to get people to their lot in order to make their money, right? And so they're charging a price based on that. Say it's $10. I've already got the traffic to the lot. I'm getting people there for the Thirst. They're there for the Thirst. It's so convenient for them to buy that car wash at a discounted price. They don't have to go to another place. And I already made my money on the Thirst. I already made all my margin. I feel like I can charge a lot lower price on these car washes because any profit I'm making is just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
It's just icing on the cake. And so I think giving people another reason to go to a place, like, yeah, you can get Thirst here or you can get a car wash. It makes sense on the business side because I'm not begging them to come just for a wash or just for a Thirst. Like it's either one. And then on the customer side, it's super convenient. Anyways, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if next year I'm working on several Thirsty washes.
I genuinely don't doubt it.
I also wouldn't be surprised if I was doing none of them and it wasn't going that well. Either way, it could go either way, but I'm going to go all in.
I feel like
try it.
I feel like you could extend the Thirst brand and the Thirst excitement and energy into a car wash to make it an experience. You're not just going to get your daily fix, your Dr. Creamy and your pretzel bites, and then going through a car wash, but you're continuing that brand experience as you go through and exit the car wash.
Yep. So we're doing that, and we got Midvale, which we just moved into.
Dang.
Right now, it's our production kitchen, but it's gonna be it's a pretty big space. So it's gonna be our production facility where we make all of our beignets, cookie dough, pretzel dough mix, all the stuff that is the stuff that we make from scratch and distribute to our stores weekly. So like we have our own distribution center essentially. We're also going to turn that into a store because it's big enough and has a huge drive-through.
Sick.
So that'll be store number 6, drive-through store number 6 for us. We've got the 2 locations in the Viv Arena, and then we've got a catering location, which is actually our top performing location of anything.
I remember
we do
when
more
you were
catering than anything. So
when you first tapped into catering, dude.
Crazy,
I remember that.
Crazy.
And not only did you take it on with 150% effort, but you literally hosted your own, I guess, catering launch.
Yeah,
event.
wedding expo.
Wedding expo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're doing a wedding expo. We're
That's
gonna do
so
our
dope.
third annual one this year,
That is
this
so
spring.
dope.
So
Can I be a part of it?
you have to be. You have to be. So yeah, dude, we're going all in. We got and then I also am the Wetzel's Pretzels franchisee for Utah, and we're opening 2 stores right now that we're building that are going to be Wetzel's Pretzels powered by Thirst
Is
stores.
it from ground up you're building?
Yep.
Dude.
These one in St. George, one in Layton. So those are in the works. They're taking forever, but that'll basically be like a combo franchise, and it'll look and act very similar to a Thirst, except it will the pretzel product will be Wetzel's Pretzels.
Yes.
And yeah, it'll be literally a franchise of Thirst and a franchise of Wetzel's Pretzels. It just so happens that I own that franchise, and so doing it just because why not? And honestly, I want to do like I want the brand equity of Wetzel's. I think it's an amazing company, and I want to bring it to Utah because I think my Thirst brand and Wetzel's Pretzels powered by Thirst can coexist. And honestly, I want to power all the Wetzel's Pretzels by Thirst. So
Let's go,
or
baby.
do something like that. I just think it's a good move, and so I'm pumped about it. I'm also going all in on that. And I have a food truck, a Wetzel's Pretzels powered by Thirst food truck, that is running right now. And so
I remember following along on social media as you went, and where did you pick that up from?
from Florida, we
From
drove
Florida.
back from Florida.
That's so dope.
And this for New Year's, we're taking it to California, and we're catering the Rose Bowl game out on the front of the stadium, and then I'm gonna be in the Rose Bowl parade on the Wetzel's Pretzels float.
Let's go, baby.
So yeah, it's been fun,
That's
dude. It's
amazing.
been fun. It's been fun to learn franchisee land too, like as the franchisee,
Yes.
because I may or may not want to do that one day with Thirst too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been interesting. It's been very insightful. It's been a lot of work, but it's just been a blast, dude.
I take that tapping into that world and becoming familiar with it is going to be very beneficial down the road, whether that is with Thirst or with something completely different or multiple things completely different. Eth, real quick, I want to jump to, I guess you could say this article that you had just released.
Yeah.
Communicating like
It's called Communicate Like Ethan.
Communicate like Ethan. Can you elaborate just a little bit about that?
Dude, 100%.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking it out too. It was honestly, I think about a lot when I make content. I'm like, this would be really cool if my dad wrote this when he was learning this stuff. And I think about communication a lot. I think about it with my team members a ton. And I think about, and in fact, I think that's the whole operation of scaling Thirst at this point has shifted from Ethan managing the stores and managing the experience of the stores to Ethan now managing the people that manage the stores. And my communication with them is the variable of whether or not I'm successful. The way I call my ops director and say, I don't like how this store was running, or what happened here.
Addressing a concern.
Or marketing,
Yeah.
or our bookkeeper, like any of them, that's the variable like success. So it's super, super important. I haven't figured that one out yet. Communicating to my team, that's the one I'm trying to dial in. Because that's how I scale my business. One thing I have been able to dial in is how to communicate to my customers. I'm really good at that. That's how I've been able to take Thirst past the level of average business. Our average unit or our average store does over $1 million in revenue because we communicate with our customers, because we don't just take advantage for the fact that they're coming to us.
Yep.
We look at them, we look at social media, we look at a text platform, an email platform, a Facebook group, a whatever it may be. We look at that as like a direct, I look at any of those things I just said, I look at them the same as if someone was walking up to I was at one of my stores and all these customers were walking in saying, hey, I have this question about your product that I want to buy. Hey, I have a question about Thirst. Would you mind answering it for me? Like people that I like, my real customers.
Yeah.
And I don't think people look at it that way enough. Like I don't think business owners when they get a comment on their Instagram post, or anyone gets a comment or a DM, that's one of your customers that's gonna go buy something. Like you really aren't going to respond to them, or you like it's realer than people think. Like, and a 1,000 followers on something is 1,000 people listening to you give a speech, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's unreal. And so I think people undervalue that. They don't look at it the right way, like business owners and people that can take advantage of it. And so communicate like Ethan is all of the exact strategies and tactics that I use to talk to customers, how I do Instagram stories, how I communicate on Instagram stories, how I do Instagram posts, how I become part of the community in Facebook groups, how I build and use a text list and do it strategically, like, and on and on and on, like real things. And I think it could genuinely help a lot of business owners or personal brands, because it's real, like, tried and true tactics that I've been using for the last 10 years building my businesses. And so I think a lot of them are like Instagram stories, but a lot of it's just like the principle of communicating in general and how important it is with your customers. Like, you need to be communicating with your audience or you're essentially not relevant. And so that's what Communicate Like Ethan is. And just my mom, I actually videoed it, and my mom, who is a writer, helped me ghostwrite
transcribed it. Yeah.
So it was sick, and she did a really good job. And
I saw that.
Yeah, I hope people read it down the line. I hope if I ever make it big and like become famous for my entrepreneurship, I hope that people look back at it and they're like, oh, like that's the same principle he's still doing. And so
I feel like there's going to be more of those. I guess you could say golden nuggets of information from Ethan.
Yeah.
But this is one really big one. So for fellow entrepreneurs, or I guess new entrepreneurs, 110% go check that out. Ethan, I had another question or two I wanted to ask you, but we got to wrap up here on time. I do want to.
Sorry, I was bringing the energy too much on my answers.
No, bro. No, seriously, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And maybe this is a separate conversation or follow-up episode, but this is a broad question. But if you were to give one specific tip to someone with an idea, someone who's just starting in entrepreneurship, no matter the field or work, whether it's a service or a product, or they're inventing something new, based on your years of building and creating and perfecting, what would that tip be for that young entrepreneur?
I would say document and don't act like you know all the answers. That's what I still do. Like, and that's my answer because that's still it. Like, that's what I'm still doing.
That's what
like,
you're doing today.
That's what I'm doing today. Like, I tell my employees this. I tell my customers this for sure. Like, we'll be like, we're not sure on this, but like, this is what I'm trying. This is how hard I'm working to figure it out. And so I think being transparent and just really being authentic and documenting the journey. Like, document. Like, people are going out of business, but aren't posting on Instagram for 3 months. Like, post everything. Post everything. It shouldn't be perfect. It should be the opposite of perfect. It should be super raw. If you can, like, if you want to grow your business, like, sometimes I don't post, but like, if I'm really hungry and I'm like, I need to drive some sales to the door, like, or I'm feeling really ambitious and like, or just like the classic grind, like trying to get better and better, I'm posting all the time. But so I would just say that's it, man. Like, it's okay to not know, and like sharing the journey and getting people to follow along. Like, that's what they want. People buy a story right now more than anything. Like, in a world where everyone is trying to like make a perfect picture or ad or thing on social media, or like try to be the best. I say this all the time, the best piece of content that everyone has that we all can just drill and it's going to get the best engagement all the time is literally just the thoughts in our head.
Yeah.
Like our story, the things that we're doing. Because the only thing that no one can replicate. It's the only thing that you can make that literally no one else can make. And so that'd be what I'd say.
Ethan, thank you, bro. I love it. If you're not following on Ethan's story and getting inside the thoughts on his head, do it now or do it yesterday. Ethan from Thirst on Instagram. I'm so grateful to call you my friend, dude.
I appreciate it, brother.
And I'm so proud of you, but I know that this is just the start. I genuinely don't think I know someone who's making it happen more than you are. So
thank you so much,
Ethan,
man.
thank you. We could be talking for days, but we got to wrap up the podcast. Ethan from Thirst, Park Entries, Behind the Energy podcast.
Bringing the energy, baby.
Bringing the energy, baby. You already know what it is. Thank you to everyone who's listening. If you haven't subscribed, I think
Do that.
Now is an appropriate time to do so.
And write the man a review.
Yeah, that would be much appreciated. Oh, also check out Ethan's angle. Yeah,
Forget about Ethan's angle.
Yeah.
We just dropped some knowledge on you guys. Go leave a review on this podcast or I'm pissed.
Ethan, thank you. That's it. That's a wrap. Behind the Energy. Peace.